Hi. Yeah, so hi. Hope you all are doing good. Hope you all are healing and trying to not even be the best version per se, but just, heal. Like, I hope that's what we are all trying to do because I know a lot of us have probably had like experiences and circumstances that have really affected how we are and how we see this world, which takes me to this topic that I genuinely think may kind of trigger some people, but it might also trigger me because I was in this position. But I have come out of it because I have become aware of the power that I have. And I just want other people to also become aware of the power that they have. And that is why I'm going to talk about this topic. So, from the title, you can see that I'm going to be talking about getting rid of your victim mindset. And first of all, I'm going to tell you this: it is not easy. It is not easy, or I won't say it's not easy, but it's going to take time, especially if you have lived your whole life in that program of feeling like a victim. And most of us, this wasn't just like an automatic program that we were born with. I mean, literally, any of us, none of us were actually born with a victim mindset. We had experiences or people around us that projected that mindset to us. For me, it was the people around me that, projected that mindset that made me feel like everything was against me, everything was spiraling, and like literally the world was against me, that I was not good enough. Like I always just saw the worst or thought the worst of myself. And like it took time. It genuinely took time. And right now I'm still in that growth process, but I can say that by 50% or even like 70% I have changed from how I was. Like the person that I was 2020, like my mindset is completely different from how I am now. And it could have taken a shorter time if I knew the things that I knew, which I'm going to share with you today. So, first of all, we all have different things that have made us feel like victims in our own lives, that have made us feel triggered, that put us in this survival mode of always, um, always feeling like everything is out to get us and we are not in control and good things are not meant for us. And first of all, I need you to know that that was not a program that you were born with. I know it's something that it's obvious, but like I feel like we always think that when, like in the states that we are in right now, we don't really think that this is actually something that we took from experiences. We tend to think that we're just born unlucky, or we're born, life was supposed to be like that, or like we're just unlucky, or we're a mistake. And I never ever ever want you to think that, because you're never a mistake. You came to this world for a reason. You came to take up space. You were born to take up space. You being brought into this world was intentional. So like that whole mindset you have now, it is a mindset that was programmed to you. It was a mindset that was programmed to your subconscious that started to make you to act in ways of feeling like you were a victim. So you were not born that way. You were literally born like the same way every single successful person was born. And when I mean that, I don't even mean like the places or the lifestyles. I mean like you were born as a baby. You were born with literally no thoughts. You literally didn't have like any thoughts like that when you were a baby. Like you just picked up what you grew up with. So if it's not natural, it can definitely go away. As long as you were not born with it, it means that there's like you can change it. So it's something that was reprogrammed. So you now have to make a conscious decision to reprogram it to a victor mindset or an anti-victim mindset, whatever you want to call it, just not a victim mindset. So that is the first thing you need to know. Then one of the ways that really helped me to get rid of my victim mindset was to know that every experience or everybody that projected, everybody that, made me feel like a victim, they were only projecting. I don't know how a lot of us grew up thinking we're victims, but I know that it was definitely mostly because of people around us. So maybe we're bullied. For example, me, I won't say I was like bullied, but I was verbally bullied, like in my growth process. So like when I got older, I started realizing that people were projecting. People were projecting because nobody who loves themselves, nobody who feels good about themselves will want to make you feel bad about yourself. And I'm so sure of it. Like nobody who loves themselves, nobody who is a light, nobody who sees themselves who is just like having a happy, positive life will consciously make a decision to bring you down. So you have to be aware of that everybody who tried to make you feel like a victim, they were literally projecting. They were projecting their sadness, they were projecting their miserable lives, they were projecting how empty they were, and they didn't have anything better to do but to make you feel bad about yourself. So you have to realize that, because if you keep allowing everything to be a victim, if you keep like putting everything on yourself, like, oh, this is me, this is me, this is me, this is me, then you are only just going to be creating that mindset for yourself. You're only going to be putting more power into that mindset, and it's not true. So that was something that really helped me a lot, because now when I see somebody and they're trying to like, put their whole energy on me and try to like say negative things, I know that you're just projecting, because nobody who has a good heart, because now that I am very healed and I have a good heart, I would never consciously make a decision to go out of my way to start hating on someone or start saying negative things to them. It doesn't make sense. So I know that anybody that's doing that, they're just projecting. So that is one thing that genuinely really shifted me from thinking that I was a victim. I'm not a victim. People are just projecting. So another thing that you have to realize is that you are in control. And that is hard for a lot of people to take in, because they have felt out of control for most of their life. But what if I told you that the reason why you didn't know that, or you didn't think you were in control, because you were not aware of the power you had? Now, a lot of us always like try to blame our experiences, try to blame everything around us for the way we are. But you have to realize that none of this have power over your emotions if you don't give them power over it. When we experience things in life, we need to know that we have the power to define those experiences. We have the power to perceive those experiences in the way that we want to perceive them. So let me give an example. Something can be happening to two different people. Like the same experience can happen to two different people. But one person will see that experience and be like, oh my God, life is so hard. I hate my life. And then another person will see that experience and be like, oh my God, what can I learn from this? What is God trying to teach me? Where is God trying to take me? Are you seeing those two like different mindset? It's the same experience, but they have different mindsets. So it is never really about what you're going through, but it is about what you can make out of what you're going through. And that becomes the truth, because that is where you have to learn the law of assumption. And if you want me to go deeper into that topic, I would definitely go into it, because the law of assumption is literally one of the best things you can ever learn. Basically, to summarize it, it is just telling yourself or assuming a state for yourself and terming that as your truth. So you need to be able to assume the good. You need to be able to assume the best case scenario. Except you are conscious, you want to consciously keep victimizing yourself. But you have to realize that life is never about the experience. It's about what you can make out of the experience. And what you can make out from the experience ends up being the experience itself. So it is not really about, oh my God, like you're suffering. That's the way you are perceiving it. That's not actually the way it is. So I always tell myself, now that I have fully healed, I always tell myself, because I always say affirmations to myself every day. I recently started doing that. And now I tell myself, nothing bad ever happens to me. Everything that happens to my life is either a lesson a blessing in disguise or a protection in disguise. So I would never ever try to victimize myself because I already see life as that. So for example, there was a time that I wanted to go out and see my friend, right? And he invited me for this dinner with like other friends and everything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna book my boat. And I started booking my boat, and like it was just very frustrating because I needed some money, right, for the Uber and everything. But like the money wasn't really in my account, like the account that I needed it from is very complicated, but like the money was with my mom. So she had to send the money to me. If not, I wouldn't be able to go. So basically, I started getting frustrated because it was like she kept trying. She wasn't able to send the money. My dad too, he wasn't also able to send any money. So I was literally there. I couldn't go out. So my friend who lives around me, I called him and he was not picking. And he always picks my calls. So he was like, why is it like, it's like everything is trying to make me not to go for this dinner. But because I had built that mindset of knowing that I am the creator of how I want to perceive things, and rather than see myself as a as a victim, I really thought about this and I was like, what if God is trying to protect me? Because the funny thing is that literally after the dinner had ended, the money ended up now going through. The money that my mom was trying to send ended up going through literally after the dinner had ended. So I had to like think about it and be like, God was definitely protecting me from something. Because what if there was something there out to get me? Or what if there was a attack around that venue? Or what if there was the boat driver had like very evil thoughts of maybe kidnapping me or something? This is definitely a protection. So someone else will see this experience, right? And they'll start crying. They'll be like, oh my God, I really wanted to go for this dinner. Like, why is everything always why is everything always crumbling? But I chose to see it as a protection. And that may have been the case. That is how I chose to assume it. So you have to have the power in perceiving things the way that benefits you. Because why would you want to perceive things in a way that doesn't benefit you? That means you're basically trying to like put power into the whole victim mindset. So what you always have to do every day is always perceive things in the best way possible. This is happening for a reason. This is happening for my highest good. This is working out in my favor. I need you to add to your affirmations in case you don't say this. Everything is working out in my favor. Every time. Every single time. So no matter what experience or no matter what you're going through, you have to always see it as working for your favor. It may not make sense, but because that is how you have chose to perceive things, you're not affected by anything because you have chose to see things differently. So at the end of the day, it's not even really about, like I said, I've said this over and over again, it's not about the experience, it's not about what you're going through, it's about the lens you choose to see things. That is what is going to determine your life. You have to see things in a positive lens and not a negative lens. And I know it's going to be hard because you have grown with that negativity. This has been your life for so many years of thinking in that victim mindset. It's going to be very hard. Well, not very hard. I don't like to perceive things as very hard because nothing is really hard. But I know it's going to take time. It's going to take effort, okay? But you have to make a conscious decision in every little thing that happens right now. You have to realize that it is not the experience. That like this thing is not happening to me. This is happening for me. You have to shift your mindset to that. So basically, I'm gonna have to like kind of, end this video here. I think every point I said are points that I genuinely think can transform your life if you really practice on it. And I'm also doing that because it's getting late, because I'm actually using some of the light from outside, and I know that my video is getting darker, and but like I said, I just wanted to help, and I know that it's not gonna be a steady process completely. It will take time, but this is something that you need to make a conscious decision, because if you want to change, you have to be ready to change. You can't be like, I want to change, but like you're still like going back to your old habits. You're still making everything feel like a bad thing. You have to be conscious. When you're ready to change, take my advice, because that genuinely transformed the way I think and the way I see life, and just put that into your life and see how happy you become, see how fulfilled you become, see how in control you become, because you realize that life is not happening to you. You create what you want. Life shouldn't be happening to you. You should be happening to life. You should be giving you should be giving things life. You should be giving things meaning. You are in control. And when you realize that, life becomes good. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you were able to take away something. And like I said, if you want me to make a video on the law of assumption, please feel free to let me know. I might even make a video without anybody asking, because I really, really want to talk about it. But yeah, stay tuned, and hope I was able to bless you, and I hope you transform into the most healed and most joyful and peaceful version of yourself. Bye.